Hello. Welcome back to, I think it's episode 3 now of I want to say Team Fight Talk Show. Man,
Not Team Fight Talk.
Yeah, Triforce Tactics. Hello, welcome back.
My name says Ramkev on the stream.
Oh no.
I was on Ramkev's stream.
Right.
Oh, my stream is good.
What's up, guys?
We're good.
I'm
Check out
Ramkev.
this man.
We're joined.
Oh no, I'm pagan already.
TFT Jirachi and Robinsongz, and we're joined by our guest Ramkev.
What's up, guys?
Nothing like starting off with a little bit of chaos. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, welcome back. You know, three familiar faces from the podcast. You know, myself, Jirachi, and Ramkev. And we have our coveted guest of the week, Robinsongz, Mr. 111 Lag 11 himself.
Hello.
So, I guess before we get into things, we can just chill out a bit. And how's everyone's week? I mean, I guess I'll go first. I'll go for my day. My day has been so Pepega. Like just the emote incarnated in like human form has been my day. It's been like every game of TFT I've played today has been so incredibly. It's been a mix of Monka S and Pepega to the point where like I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm frazzled. So the week's been good though. Yeah.
Good. Not bad.
I have played 3 games of TFT today. I top scored all of them. I'm like, okay, I'm good. That's enough for the day. We're done. Yeah.
Not bad.
I took Monday, Tuesday off after regionals.
Rightfully so.
What they say, Friday.
Good.
Yeah, I've been practicing for Worlds, but no one's playing, so I'm playing against all masters. So Milk was in my chat yesterday. He was like, "I think you're actually getting worse at the game."
What
So,
time do
yeah.
you usually play, Robin?
I play like at night, so I play like probably from like 5 or 6 p.m. to like 2 or 3 a.m.
Okay, I got
So
you.
yeah, I'm playing against like like those time the lobbies are like pretty scuffed already.
Yeah.
And even after regionals, it's like even more scuffed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's like I think the sweet spot is around just at the
Like,
start of
afternoon.
that period, maybe. Yeah, afternoon for Robin. I guess it's like early evening for me is when most people are online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like never have anyone that. My lobbies are like GV8 for an hour, and then it's just.
Oh yeah, the
No.
morning
Oh,
slot
if you
is.
play with,
oh,
if you play
so
with
bad.
GVA, you're like
You're-
either a super degen where you haven't slept yet, or like you're actually like a responsible adult that woke up early.
Yeah, I generally play around like 10, so I have like 2 or 3 DV8 lobbies, and then it's just no one, and then like I just have to watch like the the Kurum Golf Club lobbies, and then like the Ramkev Dax lobbies at night. Just I like lament not being able to play with them because like night lobbies look so much more fun than like the middle of the day lobbies.
It's pretty cool how there's like different waves of like lobbies during the
Yeah,
day.
yeah. You already
Robin,
Yeah.
you know
Robin
when
needs a
people
set
come
of golf
online.
equipment to help him out for Worlds, because like Kurum's getting good games, because like the golf equipment are all like good players who are
Yeah.
intentionally sniping him. So let's fuck it. Robin's golf club, Robin's golf ball.
Yeah, I need my own golf equipment.
You need your own golf equipment set. Yeah.
Oh,
How about you, Mr. Kevin Ramen? How's your week been?
well, I had a good day today. I got first with Udyr 3, so no complaining.
Whoa.
It was on the Smurf. I Robin passed me yesterday, I think. It was
Yeah.
I woke up like, oh no, Robin's 2 LP above me. So first thing I went online and I played one game on the main, just top forward, and like barely top forward, but you know. And now it's it's still like a 1 game difference.
Yeah, I woke up today, I lost
But-
rank 1. That always happens. Right when I tweet it out, I lose it the next day.
I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean that happens every time. But yeah, it's been a nice week. I had to catch up on work, but been streaming with Dax, so that's super fun.
Those streams are so fun. They're
Dax
so
streams are
fun.
So nice.
When did you start? Like, were you always friends with him, or?
Yeah. I've been friends with Dax. It's just I think it like this week it really has started going because Alex M is actually on vacation with his girlfriend. So you know Dax got left behind.
Wait,
So-
how did
He's
you
so
get
mad.
so like? How did you like build a relationship with these like EUS guys?
I don't. I think I just went into their chat once and I was like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I just like I just type pants grab in all the chats I go in, and then like
He has a presence. Yeah. Veronica enters the chat and he's there. You can't help but be friends with him.
yeah. Sometimes I like to just scroll through the TFT section and just go into people's streams and then,
Like the person we
say
found
stuff.
last night. We were like randomly looking through the TFT section last night, and there was some person whose title was like young challenger boy like seduces enemy units or something like that.
Oh, enemy players, yeah.
Yeah, enemy players, and it was like this like middle-aged looking guy with that title. It was really confusing. It was very, very confusing.
It's better than announcing your presence through sending a Hydra.
Beppo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it?
At Beppo getting banned for 3 days. Is that
You mean
art?
art?
Yeah, art. It's art.
Art.
It's art.
Beppo's reformed though. Beppo's reformed. He's no longer sending big dicks in chats. Now he just sends big love. So, anyways, that was a good start. So I guess we can just jump right into it. So we want to pick your brain a little bit, Robin.
Okay.
So I guess first of all, you can not that anyone watching isn't gonna know who you are, but tell us maybe a little bit more about yourself and maybe how you got into TFT, how your hair's so nice, etc.
All right. My name's Robin. I'm 19 years old. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually 29. Born in 1992. I got into TFT like a lot of other people. I don't know how you guys got into it, but I never played Dota Auto Chess. I just played League, and it was in the client. I just checked it out. It was pretty fun, and then watched some Scara vids on what econ is and stuff like that, and then started playing a lot. And then I reached Challenger set 1. I don't even know how like. Okay, I'm not like no ego, but like I don't even know how like I got good at the game. Like I don't remember when it started like clicking.
Mhm.
Like I guess it just came natural to me. And then yeah, I played set 1, set 2, set 3. Then I quit my job, and then starting from like set 4, I was like full time. And here we are, yeah.
Yeah, let's fucking go. The goat.
Let's go.
The absolute goat. Yeah, I feel like they're. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, how my hair's so nice. I just got a haircut yesterday, so a few days ago.
Oh,
Just like
so-
rank 1 and 2 NA getting haircuts in the same. That's a little sus
I got a
check.
haircut
You guys go
yesterday.
together or what? You fly out to
Hold on,
Boston,
hold on.
Robin?
we actually cut each other's hair.
Yeah, we cut each other's hair.
I will be right back. I am scheduling a haircut for tomorrow.
That's how I guess how you get good at TFT. Whoever's rank 1 is just the one who just got the most recent haircut.
Oop.
Yeah, I'll do it. I guess you can also tell us a little about regionals if you'd like. I guess your thoughts going in, like your preparation. If you knew you were gonna just absolutely shut at everyone.
Yeah. Preparation. I didn't really do much in-depth preparation. All I did was just like play a bunch of games, pick some people's brains. I didn't really like. I don't know who did this, but I didn't really like go into like every person's VODs and view like what their comfort comps are, what their like habits are and stuff like that. I think you could, like it actually really helps because like if you have like the time for it, whatever, you can like go to every player's stream or like VODs and see what their every player has like their little habit, right?
Yeah.
Like someone who like fake swaps. Someone who actually swaps. Like I remember one time Soju watched my board. Soju was like, "Oh, I was like fake swapping." Robin's like, and then Soju's like, "Oh no, he's not gonna swap. He never swaps. He never swaps." So then I was like, "Okay, he caught on. So like, I actually have to swap next time."
Yeah, the 5
Like, all
head.
mind, yeah, it's all mind games. But yeah, I didn't expect to do. I mean, I thought I was like, I didn't expect to go 1-1-1-1, but like I had pretty good confidence into making it at least to the final lobby. Because I made it to the final lobby for set 3 and 4, so I feel like I'm pretty consistent in doing that. But then like, I think I was like I always choked in the last lobby. So in my mind, I thought I was gonna get into the last lobby, but just get like 6th, like always, like other sets. But then Mortdog got me this time, and then we ended up like popping off. So it feels great to like break the curse. kind
Yeah,
of.
I bet. And then you broke it in a hell of a way.
Yeah, the super pop off.
Yeah.
Getting like that scoreline in
Yeah.
that lobby.
Yeah, that's
is,
fucking
is
crack.
nuts.
I mean, I took it one game at a time, and then like I took it one game at a time. The first game when I got first, it was so like I don't know if you guys watched, but like I shouldn't have gone first that game. like I'm pretty sure Kroom should have got first because he had like Teemo 2, Heimer 2, everything. My board was like super scuffed. I had like Galio 1, like Lucian 2 with weird items. But I think I had a really, really lucky fight RNG. And then I just ended up winning the first game. I was like super hyped. Second and third game, I guess it didn't really hit me until after the third game. I was like, wow, I won three first in a row. Like I'm probably guaranteed if I just like don't go 8-8. And then the Yasuo game, it was Yasuo game. I don't even know how I got first, but the game 6, it was like a free first.
Yeah,
So
that game was wild.
technically, I got like 5. Technically, I got like 4 first. I would say because the last game was like no matter who played it, I think they would have got first.
It ended up being like, what was like a 6-4, 6-9 KO, like KL2 per items. It was cracked. That last
No,
game.
stage
And the
2,
opener
I had
was-
Varus.
yeah.
I had Varus 2, Poppy 2, Leona 2, Aatrox 2, and I
Yeah.
got Tome.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I was
that's
like-
the dream.
I
Okay, you got
that's
Tome as
probably-
well. I didn't see the Tome. Yeah, that's insane.
1-3, I saw the triple Aatrox orb, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a Mortdog diff.
Actual Mortdog diff. And actually, game 5 I was watching, I was like, okay, low-key, like, I know we're all like, we're all like upset at that Pocky like lost the tiebreaker, like unlucky, but like I low-key think Pocky threw game 2 because I was watching his, not game 2, game 5, because I was watching his
threw it.
positioning, and I
He
was like,
threw
he should win this every single time, and I
Yeah.
saw the positioning, I was like, this is not it at all.
No. It was. I guess it's like nerves or something. But
Yeah, for sure.
that game costed him at Worlds for sure because that he should win that like 99 out of 100 times.
What was the board?
He had 6 Spellweaver Vel'Koz. He had 3 Spellweavers
Oh,
and a redeem spell.
Ah, shit, okay.
And he had Volibear too, and
Okay, yeah, that's
and Ivern too. But like me and
Holy.
Ramblin were going through the VOD yesterday, and it's just like if he just like clumped up better, or if he just like frontline his Volibear, he would have won like 100%. But like yeah,
Yeah, it does speak to
It's tough.
nerves.
Derbs, yeah. Derbs are hard.
yeah.
Yeah, derbs are tough.
And also I high rolled the Shroud. Like like when the carousel came out, I was like Shroud. And then it came up, and then I edged it, and then but like I feel like even with Shroud, he should win if he like positioned better, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, say Spellweaver is like an insta wipe if it goes off.
Yeah,
Well.
6 failures is gross.
Yeah, it's
As
fucking
long as, like-
insane.
As long as my Diana doesn't cast on his Vel'Koz, I'm pretty sure he wins every time.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And his comp was just not keeping Diana out, so
Yep.
It'd be like that.
It do. Well, I guess we can stay kind of on the regionals topic here. And were you surprised? So you said I was you were surprised by yourself going like 1-1-1-1-1. Was there any like did the top 3 surprise you? Did people who like got to the top 8 itself surprise you at all?
Yeah, so obviously I Miss Void Sins was kind of a surprise, but not that big because honestly I
Miss
played with
Johnny
him on
Sins.
solo queue. Yeah, his on Johnny Sins account, he's actually a beast, and he played really well during scrims. So I was like, okay, this guy is really, really good. So he's not really an underdog. I guess Soju making it to the last lobby is like kind of a surprise as well. Even though I thought he was pretty good, but like I feel like it's he's been memed on right for so long, so that's kind of a surprise. I think Bertosaurus placing so low was a surprise to me because I think he was like I thought he was one of the favorites going in.
Yeah.
I didn't watch his VOD, so I don't know if he laureled or not. But that was a surprise to me. I guess that's it. I guess Ramcap not making it to the last lobby was also a surprise. I didn't
Oh,
watch his games either, so I don't know if you like.
That day was too sad. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that last game. Oh my
Probably
god.
infinite for the Lucian.
I can't go back. I can't go back and watch that VOD. It would actually make me puke.
Wait, did you? Was it low roll or like did you like misplay?
Okay, so it was a low roll opener, right? I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like 60-ish health probably at round like going through round 3.
Yeah.
And I think I played it really well. So all through round 4, I won streak. I got like 6 sentinels. I had the board. I didn't level at all. So like
Yeah.
by the end of round 4, I was still level 7, but I had like a lot of gold, right? Because basically I hit one Lucian. I was like, okay, this is stable. I won't
Yeah.
roll. This is my board. And then so like going into 5-1, I had like 50 gold to roll. And I rolled all of my gold. I didn't see a single Galio. I didn't see a single Lucian. I didn't see a single Sentinel. I was like, oh my god. Oh, this is the worst.
It was
Felt
so
like-
hard to watch.
it's so bad because like you feel like you played it really well if you go from a low roll situation and you can manage to swing it like that, it feels so good.
Yeah.
But then like afterwards, if you don't get the reward afterwards, it's just like
It feels so bad because you just lost the luck, right? Like you played it really well. But...
like you're in the hallway passing Mortdog and you just like whack the books out of your hand after you finish picking them up, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's like a weighted coin flip, so sometimes it's just bound to happen.
Yeah,
but, you know that's what it is. What it is.
No, I was shocked by who got into regionals. I was shocked that Bert didn't get through because he was my pick to like win the whole thing actually because he was like popping off in the duos tourney, and then it was like I think my top 3 was Bert, Kevin, and like Pocky / Robin. Those are my top 3, and. Yeah, Bert and Kevin not getting through was mind blowing for me. I think like they've been playing so well lately. But I haven't seen Bert's perspective either, so I don't know if it was like a low roll thing or if like I'm sure he wasn't playing poorly because Bert plays really well in general. But
yeah,
I mean, for me it was just straight up Soju not going like 15th because it's tourney Soju. We all meme him, but like I think I was watching his literal first game. And I saw him roll like 20 gold on 6, and I was like, never mind. Soju's got this. Like, he's actually adapting to tourney. So, once you start watching him on day 1, it makes sense. But, like, going in, we're all just like, okay, he's just going to do his normal thing and play super greedy and just bomb out. But he didn't do that. And, like, kudos to him for adapting to tourney play finally. Mm-hmm. But low-key, the World's reps didn't even surprise me. Because... Spencer was my pick to win. Like it didn't happen, but he still made it. I think we all predicted Robin to make Worlds, and Milk. I think I put him 7th on my tier list, but my reasoning was like he's either going 2nd or he's going 12th.
Yeah,
and he ended up going 2nd, and it's like okay, Milk was here on a good weekend, so he made it to Worlds. So it's not even that much of a shock.
Yeah, I mean, I think regionals is so stacked to the point where like. Honestly, any 3 of the players, if you take any 3 and you say, oh, these are the 3 players going to the Worlds, you're like, okay, yeah, that makes complete sense, you know?
I would say, like, number 1 to, like, 13, 12, we're all, like, equally good, I think. I think, like, there's, like, 4 players that are, like, weaker than everyone else.
The parity on day 1 in scores was nuts. Like, the entire day, like, all 16 players were only 14 points apart. Like, that's actually nuts.
Dude, like, the stars literally had to align for me to make it. Because, Kiyun and Goobums had to get 1st and 2nd in the other lobby, while I get a top 4 for me to make it.
And really for day 1 at the end? That's insane.
The last game, I was like, you have to be top 8, right? I was like 14th or 13th. And I needed a top 4, plus I needed other players not to get top 4, right? And then I ended up getting 3rd, and then Kiyun and Goobums in the other lobby got 1st and 2nd, which took a lot of points away from other people, and I edged away with 8th place.
That's insane.
It's actually crazy.
Jesus.
No,
that's plot armor. That's plot armor is fun.
I guess it gave me more motivation for day 2 because I was like, okay, like I got blessed to like inch into finals, so like the pressure's already all gone, and then just like.
Yeah, it's like you're on house money at that point, right? So you just
yeah.
And the pressure is kind of not there. Once the pressure's not there in tournament, it's so like I feel like that one of the hardest things about tournament is just not like playing with no pressure compared to like really like worry about your performance is such a difference in play. And it's so hard to make like because you second guess everything, right? Because it's a game all about decisions. So if you start second guessing everything because you're so worried about your performance, it gets so difficult to like be confident in yourself in the middle of a tournament. So.
Yeah, that's difference for me in mid set and honestly Giant Slayer series. Like compared to set 4 regionals, just for me, like set 4 regionals, it was like my first tourney. I just showed up and just kind of played, and I actually did well. And then going to set 5, it's like okay, now I have expectations. Now I'm not doing so well, and it's rough, like starting to deal with that pressure. But it's something we're figuring out. I think it's something that. The people who succeeded at regionals, it's because they've been through that tourney pressure so often that that y'all know, like y'all know what it's like, y'all know how to deal with it and how to handle and kind of like minimize its effects.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. Like it's just like job interviews, right? Like
Yeah.
in the beginning job interviews I was like super nervous. Like every job interview I would dread it, and then but like after you just keep going and keep going, like you get used to it and you don't get nervous anymore, you know?
Yeah.
It's like everything in life, right? Just do it a lot and then you'll like get used to it.
I think a lot of people talk about like the ladder player versus like tournament player thing, but a large part of that really is like how you deal with nerves. I think. I think a lot of it isn't necessarily just like you know, yeah, this guy's a ladder warrior, you can't perm in tournament. It's more of like a lot of that experience is like how much tournament experience you have, how comfortable you are like in a high pressure situation, and then getting used to that is just a huge part of starting to perform in a tournament compared to ladder play. Obviously, there's some playstyle things as well, but and like the you know the tempo of the lobby is gonna be different compared to a ladder lobby more often than not. But I think pressure is one of the like if you're a top player, you'll be able to adapt to that kind of lobby style. Like you know more often than not, the pressure is one of the things that like is not something you can just you know adapt to in like 4 games, right? 4 or 5 games. You need to like really have that dialed in over the course of like you know a few tournament series, like you know a few sets, to really like feel it out. I think.
Like Ramkev, like I don't know if you guys like he's a good tournament player, right? But if you guys watch his stream, like when he competes, like he doesn't look nervous at all.
No,
Like he's just
God, no.
he's
having
super
fun.
serious, but he also gets
so
hyped.
fun.
He gets hyped, right, when something happens, and like he's just like locked in. So then I think that's why like he's like a really good tournament player. I don't think he get. Do you get nervous, Ramkev? I feel like you don't even get nervous.
No. I mean like yeah, not really.
Yeah. So that's why.
It's mostly like I try to use the adrenaline kind of to
Mhm.
sort of even like kind of improve how I'm doing in the moment.
Yeah.
Like I think if you hype yourself up, that's a good way to get like through the nerves in a sense. Because I think you know when you do get nervous, a lot of the times one you second guess yourself, two you just kind of miss important details. So you know I was even like I wasn't streaming this, but like when I was doing the ladder climb for Snapshots 5.5, it was literally that was all adrenaline. Like I was just using adrenaline and like hard sweating every single game because I feel like it was actually making me play like at least a little bit better, especially while I was sleep deprived because I had to play like 25 games a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'd hit one of your lobbies and be
point
like,
off.
okay, I can't talk to him, can't talk to him, can't talk to him. Hi, Ramkev, and get Norse.
Especially like doing those games off stream too. It's like, okay, Ramkev is sweating this. Like Ramkev wants this really badly, and
Yeah.
sometimes like if you have like that drive and that motivation, even if there's like pressure, because we're all like, oh, Ramkev's gonna go for the spot, and at some point like you get high enough that like even if there's no like external pressure, like you have that internal pressure on yourself, and at that point, if like you can get through that and use that to like fuel things, then at that point you're just so locked in that it actually fuels you. And I guess it did, because I mean, rank 1 finally.
Oh yeah. I mean, all it took was not reading chat ever. Unfortunately.
But you don't listen to
What do you
chat's
mean?
ideas?
Chat's challenger. Chat's
Yeah,
challenger.
what
do you mean?
I listen.
I
I
mean,
make all my plays
typically,
according to
there
chat.
are a lot of challenger players in chat.
That is
That's the thing.
collectively rank 1. Clearly, you should always listen to them.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like sometimes it's the way I think about it is sometimes people will have reasonable opinions about the game, but the great part about TFT is that you know no single opinion is you know always correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
But
infinite ways to play the game.
yeah, there's infinite ways. But the thing is, like, if I hear somebody who has a reasonable opinion, that means I'm probably not listening to my own opinion, which
Yeah.
more often than not is actually going to be slightly better. And so, like, you know, if I'm saying like, oh, I should do this, then it's actually, you know, lowering performance at the end of the. If you really think that like, you know, the knowledge base that you have is, you know, something really good, then like that's the thing with reading chat is like you don't really get to make use of it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think.
everyone has their own play style. So like even if
Mhm.
someone else does something like even though it may be like mathematically more correct, if it doesn't suit your play style, then it's not good for you. Also like if you start
Yep.
doubting your yeah, that's why reading chat's bad. Like even though like they might like help you out sometimes, it's better to just like stick to how you play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the biggest like reasons there's a skill gap in TFT is like people's willingness, I guess, to like. So if you're watching a top player stream, right? Let's say you're like a Masters player, you're watching a top 10 genre player stream, and they make a decision. You know, I think it's very easy to take that as fact. You know, you don't. It's hard to be like confident enough in yourself to weigh that against your own opinion and like internalize that. I think I think that the thing is you can say like you can watch a stream and the challenger player more than likely is right there, right? But you have to make sure that you're internalizing it and not just like you have to make like that your own knowledge. You have to add that to your own knowledge base rather than just like kind of stealing it, or not rather than just like borrowing it for a bit, right? You have to steal it, not borrow it, basically.
Yep.
Which is a big wall that people run into, I think, like just in general in TFT, where it's a game that it's like really hard to be confident in the decisions you're making, but you have to be, and you have to like be willing to also say like I'm wrong here, but now that's mine, which is tough. So.
Yeah. Something I realized from like reading chat, and anytime I like remotely take a chat suggestion, like Robin said, like we all have our different strengths, but going along with those strengths is we all have like we most of the time actively dedicate our mental energy and our mental space towards playing to those strengths. So like someone in chat suggests something that's taking up mental space that even if it's for like a slight optimization, like that's still taking up mental space for the optimization that fits your play style that you know how to do exactly. And that's even if you add like you said, even if you add something that's like mathematically more correct, like you're not playing to your strengths as much. You're not dedicating your mental space towards that. And especially like me as a player, I think a lot about mental space. And this is something I coach people a lot on this, on like doing big roll downs. Like I'll see people, I'm like, okay, you're about to do a huge transition, you're about to roll 50 gold. This is what you're playing, and they'll like hold units to take them out of the pool. And after the roll down, they'll be at like 30 gold left. And I'm like, okay, so why did we take all these 4 costs out of the pool? You're just taking up mental energy and mental space, and that mental energy you spent to take units out, you got like this tiny mathematical advantage, but you also didn't finish your roll down. So like, was that mental space you dedicated actually worth it? Not really.
Yeah, I mean, Socks said it like the EV is not worth, right? Holding with those units.
Yep.
So like whenever I coach someone, I'm like, stop holding these worthless units. Like there's no point. And also when they're rolling down, I try to tell my students like try not to play like too flex. Like you're not Nubao. Like you're not like Faker of TFT. Just literally like roll down for the specific comp. Don't like okay, oh shoot, pick up all these units and like make their own like flex board. Like most of the time it's not gonna work out.
You have to build yourself up to that. You know, you can't just
like for me, I feel like I'm one of the most like unflex players. Like I look at a comp list, I'll stick to it, and I'll roll down for those specific units. Like I try to not stray far away from it. So like whenever I have like I'm like, oh my god, I'm playing flag. I'm playing. This is a new battle board when I have like 2 whatever, right? So but yeah. Like I'm a strong supporter of not holding because I know Berthosaurus, he holds every unit right before he rolls down. I don't know if he still does that, but he is one of the guys that does that. But I think he can because he's just like a prodigy or something.
Yeah, it's tough. It uses so much mental energy to like hold everything and then also think about like I think I'm more on the side of the like the new battle kind of play style myself. So today, for example, I was super tired and I literally like my roll downs because I'm so used to just holding stuff, seeing angles, and then selling what I don't need. Right? I was literally so tired. My roll downs were just like D. Think for a second. D. It's so bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think so the moment that I got like really good, like around set 4 point, like during the 4.5 period, like if people know how I play, I literally play like everything, and I like to hold everything, and I like to play everything. But like the one thing I had to tell myself is like you have to commit at some point. You have to be like, this is what you're playing, this is what you're gonna do, you know, focus on this, and that'll in the end like get you really far. Like there's like a difference between knowing how to play all of these different comps and then saying like I'm gonna play every single comp in this one single game that I'm playing, you know. Like, you know, being able to play the comps is good, being able to decide when to play the comps is also good. Like it's I think a big thing is like when you're sort of like, it's like the idea of being too dizzy, you know? Because I think if you're too dizzy, it's actually like really, really, really bad, because then you can't sort of build your board. You can't really devote your econ to going towards a specific future, and at that point, a lot of the times, you know, you won't be able to place like much better than like fourth at the best, you know. Um, so like, I think actually being able to focus and being able to like choose specifically, this is what I'm going to do this game, and be like, have that one track mindset is actually really good. And being able to like, obviously playing quote unquote flex is always like, people say it's super good, but like, it doesn't really have to be, I want to play every single thing during this single game. You know, you kind of have to be like, you know, I'll just narrow down my options, narrow it down, and just focus, because in the end, I think it's like focusing on one thing is actually like really like a really good skill to have. And knowing when to do that is also like really important.
Yeah, flex is such a buzzword.
Yeah, and I feel like my play style like fits what Ramkev was talking about exactly too. Like, your range of stuff you can play is bigger than mine, but for me it's the same deal. And this is also like what I teach my students too. Like, you have your range of stuff you can play, and you go into every game being willing to play and like any of these comps. But as soon as the game like gives you any kind of direction, you just commit to it, because if you try to slam just like whatever, like, oh, I'm just gonna slam items willy-nilly, and they don't necessarily fit the board or fit like a direction the game is telling me to go, then you just get so dizzy in stage 4. And I was coaching someone this week. Their opener, they had Sentinel plus a MF as their opener, and they had two belts, 2 tiers. And as I was about to tell them it's probably a redemption slam here, they slammed Warmog's blue buff with an AD opener. I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, why are we slamming an AP item that doesn't really work in our current board, when we could slam like redemption? We could greed the other 2 items, the item components, and play for what's right in front of us. Like, that's something I started becoming a big proponent of. Like, just play what's in front of you. Like, there's no need to get that fancy with it. You play what's in front of you. You see what direction the thing in front of you is telling you to go. If at some point you need to figure out a pivot, then you do that. But up until the point you need to figure out a pivot, you just play exactly what's in front of you. And if you see other stuff, doesn't matter. Unless you're planning a pivot, it's just going to make you dizzy, and it's going to cost you HP. And getting dizzy costs you so many placements.
Yeah, it's like why you roll in neutral sometimes too, you know? Because that 4-1 loss if you don't roll in neutrals can be so bad.
Oh yeah.
Or 5-1 loss, not really 4-1, but you know.
You can't lose like free rounds, especially in a tournament. Like,
exactly.
If you lose a free round at 4-1, 5-1, like, that's like 2 or 3 placements probably, and then you're just like out of the tournament. So yeah, I always roll like neutrals to like 30 or 20, because I can't pivot fast enough. So.
Yeah, it's super smart to do. I mean, it's the EV is just not worth it.
You lose barely any gold. Like, just think about like you're paying like 3 gold for an extra turn to pivot, basically, right?
It's like it's like sacking that like not really on creep sometimes, and then sacking that first round is like buying a Teemo. It can be way worse than that. It's like buying like 3 Teemos at once.
It's like buying 2 Teemos.
Like, yeah, 2 Teemos for half the price. Or for like 2 Teemos if they were worth half the gold. You know, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, and like pivoting is not always just like pivoting to your board. You also have to slam items, and you also have to scout. So like scouting and positioning is an extra 5 seconds. So technically you have to pivot in like what, 25 seconds. So it's like.
It's a lot, yeah. It's tough to do.
And rolling on neutrals is something I'll do sometimes too. And like at this point, like half of the community knows me for like rolling down super fast, but I can only do that if I know exactly what I'm rolling down for. If I have like a couple options, like I roll on neutral still. It's so worth to get the 1-turn pivot off no matter what.
Or like you guys know how like, I don't know if you guys have seen this recently, but sometimes when I watch people, they'll position for wolves. I think that's like such a bad idea. Like moving your back line, your front to just not lose to wolves. It's such a bad idea, because like that's the creep round. Then you go into 4-1, and you have to transition. And like if you're rolling down on 4-1 and your back line is still in the front, it's die immediately.
Just let your Vayne 3 be be where your Gallia wants to be. Yeah, it's fucked sometimes. It's always nice, so nice to be the person who gets that person too. It's like such a hell yeah moment when like you're playing the guy who's like Lucian 2 is in the front line, like a solo front line where the Gallia wants to be.
Or like they didn't slam items yet.
Yeah.
Or like you fight the ghost of someone who
Yeah.
didn't slam items.
That one.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good.
Where
It
they're,
feels so,
they're
so
cheesing
good.
like a Zephyr or like a Shroud or something. Ooh.
You know what I experienced for the first time the other day was someone rage quitting after they saw my board, but it was at like 3-3. So, yeah, no, it was like I think like 3-5. They were very tilted. They saw my board, they FF'd, and I got a free round. It felt so good.
Probably his previous games, and then he probably got 80.
Yeah, for sure.
He probably lost the same board twice, so he's like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, I think what happened was a DQA hit Nocturne 2 the round before, and he just said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
It's the sins. It's the sins. Sins PTSD.
Sins.
Ah, Sins.
Speaking of sins are so good. Still, like, okay, I thought low key. I looked at the patch and I was like, I saw the Ivern change, I saw the volley change. I was like, okay, sins themselves aren't getting nerfed, but I'm pretty sure they get worse just because the Revenant frontline buys so much time for them. Nope. Sins are still really good. I played Sins earlier. It was such a free first.
Sins so broken. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you know what's broken? Open for Draconic into Sins. Like that.
I like that.
Like, you know how usually when you have Draconic, you probably play like A-bomb, Vel'Koz, whatever. But you can actually just play Sins as well. Because like you just full stack until 3-5 and you have infinite gold. You have even more gold than normal open fort, right? And then you're more likely to hit like all your stuff. And if you hit all your stuff, you just like free win. And you don't even need Sin Spat, right? Just the 4 Sins and then like it's like whatever.
Also, Sin Spat, like,
Yeah, Sin Spat's broken.
It's so
Sin
gross.
Spat Fiddle is the most broken thing ever. Not just because like what it does to Fiddle, but also like the interactions it creates with other boards. Because the natural tendency against Sins is you want to clump up, you want to protect your carry from the
And Fiddle
Nocturne, from the
just-
Diana. And well, first of all, I've seen so many bad clumps and my Diana just gets on the carry anyway. But even if you get like a proper clump that keeps the Diana out, Sin Spat Fiddle just right into the whole team. And it actually like removes the like only type of counterplay against Sins.
Do you guys think there should be Sin nerfs before Worlds?
Yeah.
yeah,
I think-
Like
I
what
do.
would the nerf be? Like 6 Sin nerf or?
The thing is, I don't know. I think it's tough to nerf Sins. I think like the biggest problem with Sins is like what they do to positioning, right? Like when they're in your like queue of who you can play. Like I feel like Sins, it's like such a toxic thing to have in the game, but you can't take them out.
I do think they should think about nerfing like 4 and 6, just cause like you stabilize on 4, you stabilize on 6. Or look, you stabilize on 4, you win on 6. But like the thing is, I don't know if they really should be nerfing something like Fiddle, for example. I think, you know, if they nerf Fiddle damage, it's not just like Sin Fiddle, right? That's taking a hit. It's like, you know, if you wanted to play Fiddle carry or something, right? It's like, well, now that you can't play that anymore. I think that like it's really just like, you know, you shouldn't be able to stabilize just because you hit Nocturne 2 plus like a bunch of Revenants, you know.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't be doing that much damage.
I feel like 4 Sin is fine.
I
Like
think they should nerf 6 Sins. It's
I
also
see.
Yeah,
it's
that's
too
6
easy.
Sins really.
It's too easy to get because you can make the spat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
for
it
sure.
was-
Like there are people, you know, the spat start. People will just like right off fruits, boom, Sin spat.
I've seen someone slam Sin Spat at 1-3.
Yeah.
And not even play Sins for all of stage 2. They just had a Sin Spat chilling.
It's a
I'm also
message.
pretty
Yeah,
sure I've
you
done
scare them off.
That's a true degen. That's a true degen.
True degen. Yeah. You
I feel like that-
once you embrace the degen, you start doing things like
No,
that.
but
And
you know
you're
what
just
that-
like you get people off.
You know what that does? Yeah, it makes people not play Sins. Like,
Yeah, exactly, you
keep
scare
off
'em
it.
off.
You're like making a statement, you know? It's like
Yeah.
mech, but like actual.
You know
You know that you let people know that you're not pivoting, you know?
Yeah.
And you're not just like typing it. You're like showing it.
Yeah, you gotta ping it after though. You gotta make it and ping it so everyone knows.
Yeah.
You can't let that shit fly under the radar at all. I feel like the thing with 6 Sins too is that they're like the worst unit in the synergy is Kha'Zix, right? Which Kha'Zix 2 can still kill stuff. With 6 Sin, Kha'Zix 2 can still like shit on people late game. So
my
you're
goodness,
playing like
Kha'Zix-
no
Kha'Zix-
bad units.
Speaking of Kha'Zix, you guys seen the Kha'Zix 3 Chug
Yeah,
Jug
yeah,
comp?
Cosmic
Yeah,
Chug
yeah,
Jug
yeah.
is actually pretty good. I gotta
It's
say.
actually good. It's actually good.
You get an IE Hodge on that thing, like any other item, blue buff, decap.
I ran into
Also,
I
it.
think
The
slaps.
core for that comp is IE Hodge, right? On
Yeah,
Cosmic?
Yeah, I
for
think IE
sure.
Hodge.
And then everything's like whatever.
I played against one today with it was IE Hodge RFC. I had like positioned perfectly for it. I Zephyred it. It did 16,000 damage and won the round. At like 4-2.
It full heals from Hodge, right? That's why it's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, that unit's something else.
Okay, so it's glove opener then, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
mostly, yeah, for sure.
Probably.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you start glove and you get like Kha'Zix 2, 1 Gragas, just you can commit, right?
Yeah. Kha'Zix
Yeah.
2-1 Gragas.
You just send it.
I feel like it promotes the degen playstyle because you do glove start and you either play
You
the one
flex.
cost reroll, you can flex
Both
Kha'Zix
Sin
reroll
comp.
or Nocturne reroll. You can flex either assassin comp or true degen. Okay, I know
It's
what I'm
so
doing. I know what I'm
bad
doing.
when you know they're in rotation too, because you're like, oh my god, do I actually have to clump for this one Sin player that's in my rotation? And you don't fight them for like 3 rounds, and you're just fucking clumping like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like all of your units are there, you get hit by every single AO. You're like, oh my god, but I could fight the Sins next.
Hey, you know what shits on Sins though? Is 6 redeemed Varus 3. The Varus reroll, you get 6 redeemed at like 8. If you have you have to put on a spam most of the time, but it actually like Varus is unkillable if you have a Hodge. Like he just he will want like he'll face tank a Nocturne 3, face tank it like that while getting fiddle ulted, and then just kill everything. It's pretty fucking broken.
And you get Syndra.
I
Yeah,
realized
Syndra's insane.
Lucian with good positioning also can beat Sins.
Yeah.
Because like if you
Mhm.
I noticed like if you put Lucian in Cubby, he'll ult towards the right side of the map. So and that's where all the Sins are. So he'll just mow down all the Sins. And I've had a Nocturne. This was today. I had a Nocturne jump into a Lucian's face, a Nocturne 3, and it still got mowed down. And this is like post nerf.
Also, like
So-
when I play Lucian against Sins, I don't know how the AI works, but sometimes when I corner Lucian and I clump it up, if he doesn't move, then I win.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the Sins jump and then he doesn't move and he starts attacking the Sins when they jump. But then sometimes he just walks up and then you just lose.
Yeah, you see them do like awkward curve up, and you're like, oh my god, not again, Lucian. You don't.
Yeah.
You just
But
watch
if
the
he
middle of
stays
the board.
still- If he stays still, then the outer minions units die, and when he starts shooting, he just kills everything, right?
Yeah.
But do you guys know how the AI works?
No. I swear sometimes like I'll be playing Draven and sometimes he's like the biggest fucking smurf in his Sins, right? Like he doesn't walk up, like I'm clumped, he doesn't walk up, he just starts whacking the Nocturne. And sometimes like I'll be clumped, everyone spreads out, and Draven takes this path through the board, right? Where he's in like bottom left, he ends up like the middle of the board and Nocturne and Fiddle like behind it, just like what the fuck did this guy just do? They definitely paid him off. I don't know. It's the positioning against Sins feels so inconsistent,
we
which I
can
think one of the
agree
reasons
that
it's
it's-
broken.
We can agree that it's inconsistent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so they
definitely,
need
it
to
doesn't
fix
feel
that, right?
consistent.
Yes, yeah, they definitely need to fix that.
It feels like a 50-50 right now. It's either your carry's gonna Papega or your carry's gonna like stay in one place. Which, you know, credit is better than before they shipped like the last quote unquote AI fix, where your carry would always Papega and just walk to the middle of the board and walk up, like 100%. So we do have improvement.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's just still inconsistent and can be better.
So
Yeah.
it's we're sure that it's not due to where the non-sin units are placed.
It could be,
You know what I
right? I
You know what I
don't
mean?
Yeah.
I don't think
Like
it
when they
is.
do
I think-
Cyber,
If they're
Like-
far enough away, what might be happening, right? If you're corner clumped and like there's some far unit, if it's not in range, I assume
they
that
won't
they're gonna walk up a little bit.
I'll walk up.
Even that
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
feel consistent though. I feel like sometimes like
Yeah,
stuff will
it's
start
definitely
walking and the
not-
carry will not walk.
I feel like they're
it's-
always not in range because if they're always back, you're always back.
Yeah, they
row.
should.
yeah,
They should
people
always
back
not be in
line.
range. Yeah, they should not be in range. So I think
Yeah,
it's just
definitely
like
not consistent though. Yeah,
whoever cracks that code is just gonna climb like 1,000 LP.
I just wish they would make Sins. They jump, and then you target the Sins immediately.
Yes.
But how will I have my Nocturne 3 one-shot Vel'Kozes?
Yeah.
You should have him so that he's jumping and not the one that gets targeted immediately.
I mean, do you guys think sins are like healthy for the game, or should they be removed?
I do, actually. I don't think the current version of Sins, though, is healthy for the game, and that's
Yeah.
just because, like, Sin Fiddle, but also Diana Viego. Like, those, like, backline CC Sins, I really don't think it's healthy for the game. Like
Yeah.
Pike in set 4 was like excuse me, we're like pushing it a little, but like the one in Pike is fine, and it's like he's not always gonna like CC the carry and just completely fuck it over, but like Viego yoinking the carry entirely, just making sure it does not play the game. Diana like throwing it around, and Diana throwing the carry in position for Nocturne to kill it, even when you like keep the carry safe from Nocturne. Like that's not healthy for the game, even though I think Sins themselves are.
Oh wait, did I mess it up?
No,
Okay,
you're
okay,
good.
we're
You're good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, let's play a quick game. Sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
I was just gonna say, like,
Sorry.
I'm just thinking about Zed carry from set 4 when it was balanced, not when it was like OP. But after it got like a bunch of nerfs and people could still play it, but it wasn't like auto top 4 even with Zed 2, right? Like that comp, like what was the max CC on that comp, right? It was like Galio dropping, and it was a Pike stun, you know?
Oh,
so like.
Yeah.
Right now, Sins, what do they have? They have Fiddle, who's gonna ult your entire backline and kill everything. You have Diana, who like pops your backline unit to the front so that Nocturne can kill it immediately.
Yeah.
You have Viego that steals your units. You have Volley Bear that just yeets your board.
Ivern.
But before Ivern nerf, like Ivern yeeted your board after Volley Bear yeeted your board. Like it's too much. It's like that's the thing. Like Zed was literally you position Zed right, you can win. You position Zed wrong, he's dead.
You can't forget the 7th sin as well. Frozen Heart is the
Oh yeah.
the 7th sin.
CC Sins have.
Yeah, it's crazy,
insane,
right?
It's insane.
It's not okay.
Like
Literally
and
every
they
unit
have
has
Pike.
CC.
They have Pike. And they have
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Okay, I'm 2020 Sins.
Yeah, well, it's just like, and then if you get a tier or a chain, it just goes instantly to Frozen Heart, and then like you have even more. You know, it's like it's fucked. Anyways, the game I want to play. If you could take 2 units out of the game, what would they be? We can start with Jirachi.
Diana Viego. Even though I'm gonna have a little less fun like popping people with Nocturne, it's Diana Viego. Not even close. I already know one of Appy's answers, by the way.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. We all know. Abby's is about to do the thing. Do the thing with thing.
What about you, Robin?
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know about 2, but I have 1. It's actually Aurelia. I feel like Aurelia. I feel like Aurelia and Olaf, they share the same traits, and they're 1 and 2 cost. Aurelia gives you too much value early game. Like honestly, at the high competitive level, whoever hits freaking Aurelia has so much value.
Yeah.
Going into it has too much value actually. Like my games when I got 1-1-1, I hit Aurelia, 3 Skirm, 3 Sentinel every game. And I'm pretty sure that's a big reason why I got first. It's just too much. It's such a big tempo play. If you don't have Aurelia, you're weak as hell. If you have Aurelia, it's essentially a fawn, right? Because you have like an extra spot to play a unit. I don't think they should ever. I don't think not ever, but I don't think they should have like. I was talking about it in my chat. Like, what other units had 2 of the same traits that were 1 and 2 cost? And we came up with like the Maokai and the Elderwood. What was it? Elderwood and Brawler, right? Oh, but that was Nunu. That was Nunu and Maokai, but Nunu is a 3 cost. That's different.
Yeah.
It was it was the Woodland comp. What was it? It was Woodland.
Druid in set 2.
Yeah, but Woodland Druid's kind of like Hellions though, right? So it's it's different.
Too much
it's not just like
sets.
pure raw combat stats.
Yeah. So like, can you? Oh yeah, someone thought of Syndra and Nami from set 2. Ocean Mage.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that broken? Like I mean,
Syndra
it wasn't. It
and
didn't
Navi.
seem as broken though. But what do you guys think so?
Was it?
I think.
What do they do?
What about the?
Appy's
what were they called?
until set
Pyros?
3.
What were
I
the
think
pyro?
Angels.
Like, wasn't Zyra? Who did Zyra synergize well? I'm trying to think about like this because I remember at some point Zyra was like super OP and there was like she had like really good synergies.
Nami was a 5
summoner?
cost. No, it was
Nami
Syndra and
was a
Vladimir.
5
Syndra and Vladimir. For Ocean Mage.
Oh yeah, that was broken.
Yeah, Ocean Mage.
Yeah. But besides that, I don't think there's any like. I mean, I just think that it's too broken early game, and I mean, as much as I love Aurelia, I don't think it's healthy for the game.
Yeah, if you get an Aurelia, you just get so strong. As long as you have the old. I mean, like, yeah, it's like such a strong 1 and 2 cost pair. We're up to Kevin.
Oh, I honestly not too sure. I feel like one.
Ooh dear. I'm just kidding.
Oh no, you can't. I would want to bring things back. I want triple Archangel's Warwick to be back in the game. If I can use one of those to say I
What?
want Warwick back. Okay, if you've never played triple Archangel's Warwick,
Don't talk to me.
I figured out how to play it by the end of set 5. I only went 1 and 2 with Warwick carry. But outside of that, I would want Volibear removed just cuz like it's I figured it out. Like if you position Volibear in a correct spot, Vel'Koz will never be able to play the game unless you have Trap Claw.
Yeah.
Because literally, the Shojin Vel'Koz mana timing on Volibear ult it's right as he starts to channel it. You would actually rather be shrouded against the Volibear with Shojin Vel'Koz than be positioned on the same side as Volibear, because literally Vel'Koz starts his ult as Volibear is about to land. And so the ult gets interrupted and you can't play the game.
I
like
actually
dropping
think
in
Volibear is
slow-mo.
I mean I don't know if I want it to be removed, but I think I when Volibear was released, I thought it was so cool because it was a legendary unit, but it was so simple. It literally just jumps up and CCs in like a really big area. But I just thought it was like so simple, it was just like a one jump. And then I thought it was like bland, but then the more I think about it, I was like, oh, it's like Annie kind of like, it's like simple but like effective.
Yeah,
I guess
right.
like Annie from like League, not TFT. Where it's like just like a one-liner of description, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean like the set 4 legendaries are literally like all had their own unique traits. All do this weird, Samira, Pain, Set.
It's Shade on Pain.
He's gonna go do
It's
push-ups
tormented on
and
Kane,
come
not
back.
Shade. You.
And Volibear
Kane-
just like jump in the air.
Yeah, there's some crazy 5 costs, and then Volibear is just he's like a trampoline.
I mean,
I mean,
so Appy's your champion you want removed from the game.
Yeah, I would think with both of my options just to get rid of one here, and I wouldn't get rid of him, just replace him. Thresh, fuck Thresh. That unit is so fucking broken. Like just put in Blitzcrank. Get with Thresh, put in Blitzcrank. I'm happy.
Yeah, Thresh is better than Blitzcrank.
By
You can't
far,
play
it's not even
better.
close. He just checkmates boards. It's so fucking annoying. Like, I think the only unit I lose to more than like Sins, like on like the only thing I get more tilted by than Sins is just when like you're playing a board, you have no like 4-range shitter to take the Thresh hook, and like you just always get hooked no matter what.
Yeah, like Thresh kind of changes the meta because you have to
Yeah.
play a corner bait.
Yeah.
Which sometimes you don't want to play the corner bait. It's actually really bad for your board. But
There are a lot of
if-
I was
when you're
saying,
playing Aphelios, it forces you to play Ashe, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and then when you get Akshan, it's like awkward, right? It's like 3 rangers, and you don't really want to drop Ashe. When you play Draven, you want to play MF, but like you don't want to play For Forgotten sometimes. So it's like,
or you want to play
so-
Viego over MF, but like you're like how
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
the single unit just checkmates boards, makes you like play a shittier version of your own comp, and it's a 2 cost. It's a fucking 2 cost.
Like literally in cabs at the beginning of the set, I was playing Vayne. Oh, like I get offered a Draven. I see a bunch of Dravens. And I'm just like, no, I don't care. Like Draven's not good
Vayne
corner
has
bait,
more
just because Thresh
range.
exists. Yeah.
Draven 2 or Vayne 1. I need Vayne 1. There's
Vayne
Thresh.
1. All
Yeah.
which is so weird, but it's like I need the corner bait.
Yeah, and then sometimes they just decorner anyways, and it's like what
Yeah.
fight RNG makes them decorner, like let's say like 4 out of 10 times, and they do in your fight, and you're like, well, what was I supposed to do?
It's not fight RNG, it's how frontline
It's like,
gets positioned.
it's
Like,
yeah.
if it's anything, so say like your Vayne is in the right corner, anything to your left of the middle, she'll walk up to try and hit, because as long as anything's to the left of that, she'll walk up. So which there's some ways you can actually play around that. I can corner my carry anyway because their front line's all the way over, and my carry will walk up and actually protect itself.
Yeah,
But
I meant more of
know,
like
like
if the
this-
front line, like if the unit, like let's say Vayne's hitting dies, right? But like let's say you shroud Thresh, Vayne, the unit that Vayne's hitting dies, Vayne walks up, but like you have RFC Draven and Draven's still in range for the next unit over. Vayne will walk up, Draven gets hooked, and it's like,
Even sometimes when you have a corner bait, Thresh still grabs you.
Yep.
If you're second hex, and depending on the angle, it still grabs you.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Like the position of Thresh. So
It's like 50-50, I think.
Yeah,
but then
yeah,
like
Yeah, or if Viego
It's
ults
so
the corner bait, so like if Viego ults the corner bait, Thresh won't
Yeah.
hook the Viego unit. He hooks the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I did that in one of like my games a couple days ago. I was like, oh, this is so easy. I'll just put Viego on the corner, and Thresh is always gonna hook the
It's literally
Draven
just Zephyr
because I
Blitzcrank,
just
but better.
suck their corner bait.
and like even if you have Trap Claw, like I swear, like even if I have Trap Claw, I'm like, oh, I have Trap Claw. I should be safe in the corner. But then sometimes something always pops a Trap Claw before
Yeah,
Thresh
yeah.
grabs.
Like
And
a
then-
random
and you still
poppy
get
one
grabbed.
just like whacks the trap
Yeah,
claw, and then you
it's
just get
like,
hooked anyways. And it's like, what the fuck's
Oh yeah,
the
the
point?
Poppy Thresh combo.
Or like an auction
Oh,
swings
yeah.
by, pops everyone's trap claw. That is the most annoying shit when an auction will swing by and
Wait,
just
Akshan,
literally.
Akshan pops Trap Claw? I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
annoying.
This is a thing I realized in the first week of the set, like, oh, someone has Trap Claw to block Thresh Hook, just teching an Akshan. I was teching an Akshan into cabs just to pop Trap Claws.
Wait, why does it pop Trap Claw? It's an ability?
Yeah,
Their
who
attack?
knows? I think it's the armor
Yeah.
shred probably counts as
I
an
mean,
ability.
it's like
Yeah.
because Aphelios also
His
pops
mind just
Trap Claw.
exploded.
Literally, someone has a radiant trap claw, you put an auction, they don't have a radiant trap claw anymore. The radiant item now gives 50 HP to everyone on the board. That's it. It's so stupid. Especially if you have a Runans on him, because then he just pops. He literally pops everything. It's something else. It is something else. But I don't think
I mean,
it blocks the auto's damage, so it still does the same amount of damage.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think because set 4 had Aatrox, which is like kind of like set or kind of like Thresh, but like
Yep.
I think the difference is that one Aatrox is like a 4 cost, so it's like, well, he's kind of hard to get, but
Yeah.
like, and also he doesn't guarantee ult every time. But the other thing is like they also had Azir, right? So
Mhm.
Azir soldiers. And even like the
Oh, true,
even the
yeah.
target dummy, right? Like you have things that you can just stick in the corner that are never ever gonna move, right?
Yeah, the set
Yeah.
So
design
like
is
you
supportive.
never have to be worried. But like
But also, like, Aatrox just grabs you in, right? Thresh grabs you in slowly, so it's like,
yeah.
And
You're like stunned the entire time.
I'd rather just pull me in now so I can like get it over with.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
He's just like stuck in the middle doing nothing, like getting grabbed in slowly.
It's rough. The set design just doesn't support the unit. I don't think. It's yeah. Like I feel like we're closer to like a set 3.5 in terms of corner bait, like what's available for corner bait and like how much you want to play corner bait. And Thresh is just like straight out of 4.5. like he's like
cast
fuck
right
it.
away is annoying.
Like,
Yeah, a lot of times it casts twice, right?
Yes,
So it casts
yep.
once, pulls your corner bait in. Second time, it casts it gets a carry. So
well, his
it's like,
synergies are insane as well. Like being a knight for Thresh, like the units you can play him with makes him so fucking broken.
that's a big reason why
Thresh agenda.
Fortnite is really strong. Because the
Mhm.
Fortnite units are all really strong.
Yep, there's no unit that's a waste on the board at all.
Yeah.
Naked Thresh 2, just get me out. Just get me out. I hope Ken's watching.
You know,
We're like, oh, we got a surprise for you, set 6.
He's
we're getting
buffed.
Ken on the show at some point, just so you can bitch to him in person. That's the new goal.
If we get Ken on, I can't bitch in person. I cannot.
no,
I'll feel-
you still have to
No,
bitch
yeah,
in
you have
person.
to- you
No,
have to-
no,
you
it'll
gotta-
be-
you
it'll be
gotta
2
get your
PM.
Courage.
It'll be 2 p.m. I'll he'll be like, oh, I'm so happy you're on the show, and then I'm like, Kent, nerf Thresh, man. Like, look at this unit, man. My Yasuo 3, the only unit in my backline on my board, just got hooked. I can't play the game.
It used to do more damage, right? I think that's the only nerf. it
Yeah,
got.
yeah. Damage is not the way to change that move.
Damage.
It is not.
Maybe like CC timing or something.
Yeah.
well, my-
CC.
I've fully thought this out, so I'm not gonna bitch without thinking it out first, right? I think what you do, so Thresh 1 is 2 pulls, right? It's 2 pulls and less CC, so you just normalize that as the duration the entire time, or you just give him like 200 mana and make him cast instantly. I think there are 2 ways to make him less obnoxious, and those are the ways.
Just make him blitzcrank.
Yeah, literally, just make it blitzcrank, or just like make Thresh 1 CC. Like this, think the CC timing, like Thresh 1 throughout the whole thing, and maybe like Thresh 3 should be like Thresh 2 right now. But like I don't know. Anyways,
What?
I don't know for the Thresh agenda.
What about like not taking 1 second of stun off of Thresh, but like taking 1 second of pull. So like on Thresh
be, yeah.
1, it hooks, stuns a second, pulls a hex, doesn't pull a second hex, but is still stunned for a second, and you apply that to Thresh 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
because
it's very
like also
usable.
the drag is part of why he's so good. Like
Yeah.
it's not the stun is. It's whatever, I can deal with it. It's the displacement. Like I played a Kale game today, and it's Kale, so like I don't have corner bait because I'm playing like Knights, Aatrox, and Rel. and I'm just watching my Kale get dragged to the middle of the board, and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
right?
I
It's
hate this.
It's like the
It's
Jax
just-
ordered like DoorDash to like a free Kale, and then the Thresh is just the driver, you know. And then
It's
they just rent the
crazy.
rest of the Jax.
It's crazy how a 2-cost unit can change a fight,
Yeah, for sure.
basically.
Like Kennen as well. Kennen like old Kennen, the 2-cost unit that Kennen 2 could literally just like win, and even less. I think less so to the degree that Thresh. I mean, maybe that's wrong. I think they're on the right board, right? But like you could like tech in a random Kennen 2 on a board with no synergies, and Kennen 2 would still change a fight. Like stage 4.
Yeah, but the thing about Kennen is he also had the Pepega. He has
Yeah.
he has the Pepega AI where
Yeah.
sometimes he'll just run through the line and just he'll be in his own animation and not move at all.
Okay,
And you're
that
like,
needs to be
what?
fixed too.
It's like Naruto
Yeah.
running in place. Yeah.
Thresh is literally every single time, like guaranteed.
Every time. He will not fuck up. That man does not miss. Yeah. We had topics for today, and Thresh is not one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had topics, but we just talk. It's fine.
It's fine.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're having fun.
We talk about what
We're
we
enjoying life.
It's fine.
Yeah, we talk about what we love. Thresh.
Thresh.
Yeah, I love Thresh. Thresh is my favorite unit in the game. I always play it on every board, especially when I'm in game with checks notes TTV spicy appies.
I play
I
in
hope
every
they have
game.
Thresh. I hope they have Thresh, Aatrox, and Blitzcrank next set.
Ooh.
Yeah. I would rather
Yeah.
play a Thresh 1 on my board. I'm gonna tell you, so yesterday, there was a board, I was playing Yasuo 3, right? And there was like a Heimer 2 board. They didn't have Trap Claw. I was like, man, how do I beat this board? I was like, oh, I know. I had a Thresh 1 in my shop. Hooks the Heimer, and I win the fight like instantly. like no synergy Thresh 1, just instantly won the fight. Like what the fuck is that, man?
You know, I just remembered something. You guys remember set three Thresh? The Chrono
The hook
Thresh
one?
that
Yeah, that
told
was
you
cool. That was cool.
You know how you have set 3 it's the same exact thing. You put Blitzcrank on your bench.
Yeah.
And you have to set pull in a Blitzcrank. It's the same. It's functionally the same exact thing.
Thresh pulling in infinite Blitzcranks is so
Oh,
funny.
it's
You
so
you're like
funny.
infinite Blitzcranks, infinite Urgots. God.
Oh yeah, Thresh Urgot. Oh my god.
I miss Blitz. Blitz was so much less bad. It was so much better than Thresh. It was so much healthier than Thresh as a unit.
Yeah, because it was like counterplay to Blitzcrank was really straightforward, and
Yeah.
sometimes you didn't like counterplay doing the counterplay because you're like, I don't really want to shift my unit in that one hex, but like you see the Blitzcrank and like I can
You can
put
put a melee
this unit here
Mhm.
every time and it will get hooked every
I'll just put-
time.
I'll just
It's
put
like
choke
a-
at it in the corner.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
bored.
right. Like every unit on your board could be corner bait against Blitzcrank. You have
I
to
just
have like
realized how meta is changing the Thresh is. Because
Yeah,
he's
insane.
Even when you're playing Jax and Yasuo, whatever, like a melee carry, you also want like a corner bait.
yep.
Because like you second roll your Jax, if you don't have a corner bait, he's still gonna get Thresh hooked.
Especially if you like RFC on Yasuo, he will always be the furthest range unit on that board. Most
Yeah,
like unless you're
especially on
playing,
that kind of team.
yeah.
So that's why like if you're playing 4 Legionnaire Draven, you actually want the Callista one or like the fucking
Mhm.
the Kale.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I play Callista 1 a lot of the time over like any other Legionnaire. It's literally just because
Yeah.
Callista has the most range.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, she's the only 4 range Legionnaire besides Ace Kale, but like less
Oh, can we
expensive.
talk about Draven for a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draven just got a buff, and I think he's pretty good, but I don't know what's the most optimal board. Like, because for Draven, you can either play 4 Forgotten, you can play 4 Legionnaire, you can play 4 Knights, or you can play Ironclad. Like, but you can't choose all of them. You can only pick like 2 of them. What do you guys think is the most optimal Draven build?
Low key. Try 6 Legion Dravenair. Trick 6 Legion Dravenair. Wow,
Dravenair.
6 Legionnaire Draven. That shit. So what you do is it's like I Last Whisper in any defensive item like Radiant GA, like normal GA, whatever, or like RFC, like Radiant RFC. That unit literally, it's like meta changing. The thing about the meta right now, right, is it's very like except for Sins, it's very kind of ping away at a board, right? Like there are a lot of night boards, a lot of like there's not a lot of like Rev right now. There's some, but like a lot of like the majority of boards in a game will kind of consist around like Rel, Ironclad, Knights, and some kind of like AD carry or like Sentinel and stuff like that, right? But especially against like Sentinel and Knights, 6 Legionnaire Draven literally kills everything instantly. There's no ramp time for stuff like Kales. There's no ramp time for like Sentinel Shield to give a bunch of attack speed stuff. He literally just kills everything instantly. It's fucking insane. I've been playing it a lot lately, actually. So that's my take for the day.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel with with Draven also, like the thing is you can sort of mix up the item combinations really based on like his traits allow for you to make up for his deficiencies in whatever item you're missing, right? So like unless you don't have Last Whisper, in which case if somebody takes like Ironclad, you're just fucked. But like, if you have Last Whisper, right, like you can have BT. Like if you do like Last Whisper BT Rageblade, for example, you can just play like Forgotten, right? Because you don't have to worry about healing, you don't have to worry about the attack speed. I think I saw Dax yesterday. He was playing like Hurricane, Last Whisper IE, or was it BT? Like I just think there's like a lot you can sort of put on him. Like RFC is like also fine. As long as you have Last Whisper and you have like some kind of like AD item. Even then you don't really need like a hard devoted AD item, because like you put a BT and you just put in 4 Forgotten. That's like all the AD that he really needs, right? So it's like I like how the synergies you can play around him really just is like, if I don't have this, I'll put this synergy in, and if I don't have this, I'll put the other synergy in, right? Like you don't really have to sort of force your you can really just play around whatever items you hit, and it also lets you like slam the items early, right? You don't have to feel bad about it.
So if you're missing attack speed and healing, you tech in 4 Legionnaire. If you're missing AD, you tech in 4 Forgotten. If 4 Knights is good, you play 4 Knights. Basically.
He can be. Okay, he's such a cool unit.
I think yesterday I had Demon Slayer, Hodge. So what am I missing there? Would you play
Last Whisper? Right. I mean, you're just missing like armor.
Yeah, but if you have Demon Slayer, Hodge, I think like
it's
4 you probably need the attack speed. 4 for
it's probably 2 Forgotten and 1 Legionnaire. You have double Hodge. I guess double Hodge.
2 Forgotten,
4 Forgotten or 4 Legionnaire. What do you think is more important?
I think most of the time 4 Forgotten, because you can play. It depends if you have Viego a lot of the time. I think because you can play Viego Thresh if you have 4 Forgotten, but if you don't have Viego a lot of the time, 4 Legionnaire can be better. I think
I played 4 Legionnaire. It felt great, and I remember I took out 4 Legionnaire for 4 Knight, 4 Forgotten, and it felt worse.
Yeah, because like he's missing the attack speed with that build, right? If you have like Demon Slayer, Hodge, he doesn't really have the attack speed to start off with. So that's why like the 4 Legionnaire is good.
I think also if you have raw stats, you want to. So like, it's kind of like the more like items based on raw stats you have, like the Hodge, right? It's like it's raw stats, it's raw AD, raw AP. You want to get away from 4 Forgotten on that because it doesn't really scale at all. Like you want, if you have like crit or like GS, you want to go for the, or like Rageblade. That's like kind of multiplicative with how Forgotten works, just giving you a bunch of raw stats. You want to go for Forgotten, but the more you have like, raw AD, raw AP, etc. on him, the more you want to go into Legionnaires.
Yeah. Same thing with like Deathblade on him. If you have Deathblade, like you can do 2 Forgotten, like you already have more than enough AD. And it's same deal with Jax actually. Like if you have Deathblade on Jax, it's just you don't have to play skirms anymore. Like that amount of raw stats lets you just drop a synergy, lets you tech in something else, and that's really cool.
He's a cool unit.
It's just like the Legionnaire units are like, I mean, you're playing Draven for sure, and then I think the other one is probably Aurelia, because Aurelia is like a really, really good tank. And then I think the other one is probably either Callisto or Kayle for backline bait. And then you have the fourth one is like free, but I think I've been playing Riven a lot.
Yeah, the sun is nice.
It complements Garen if you play 4 Knights. But like it's never Yasuo, right? And it's never like, would it ever be Callisto Kayle?
I don't think it's worth playing Yasuo, or like I think if you want to, like if you're investing in the 3-star Legion or the 3-class Legionnaires, you probably just want to go 6 Legionnaire, because it sounds shitty because you're just playing like Riven 2, Yasuo 2, etc. But like 6 Legionnaire with a Thresh on 7, and you have to play tempo. You can't just like have a bunch of 1-star Legionnaires, right? It's not something you can play every game, but if you have that board, it's like such a tankbuster board that it literally, like every unit actually does stuff. You have like 100 and whatever % attack speed from 6 Legion, and Draven gets to the front line super easily, and then he 1v2, like once your front line dies, Draven, he has so many stats from like Forgotten, from 6 Legion, that he 1v10s. Pretty hard.
6 Legion, actually, it feels a little bit like 6 Slayer from set 4.5. It's like you look at it and you're just like, okay, playing all these units, like this synergy is insane, but I have to play so many shitty units. But the thing is, once you play all these shitty units, there's just so much stats on the board. They just bulldoze through teams, even without items.
Yeah.
So I can totally see like 6 Legion being viable that way. Also, in 4 Loki, I think it's always Riven. Just you can get stun value out of her. Like it's not the biggest stun, or it's not the longest stun, and it's like she doesn't do much else. But it's a stun. It's something. It's value you're getting out of that slot.
Yeah, I just realized Legionnaire spell would be insane then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Legionnaire Spat's fucking broken. It's so broken.
Dude, I keep thinking Legionnaire spat and bow. I've tried this so many times.
Yeah.
And I just get Hellion MF, and I'm like, dude.
During the the initial like climb to see who would be in regionals, I think I was rank 2, and I slammed spat and bow to make Legionnaire spat, and just got a Hellion spat with no spat, like no Hellions on my board. It was so fucked. I lived that down. It was so bad. But yeah, Legionnaire spat is so broken. I honestly though, I think a lot of the time on a draven board, I think rather than play the the extra Legionnaires, I like a lot of the time I like to just like play Diana. Like Diana plus anything is really good, because if you have a Diana 2 on a draven board, like she fills in so many gaps for that unit. Because like he just can't keep up DPS wise, like AoE wise, right? With a lot of like with Aphelios, with Lucian, etc. But he scales well, and he is very good at single target DPS. But Diana, it provides the disruption to kind of let Draven do his thing. So that unit, like no synergy Diana on a Draven board is still cracked as fuck. So
I think you pair it with Viego, so it's like
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's really, really good. I also played low-key on my 6 Sentinel boards too lately. I've been playing Ironclad. I've been playing Thresh in Diana on 8, and it's so good. It's literally like if you have 6 Sentinel with Thresh Diana on 8, you literally don't lose a round until like stage 6.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
It's so fucking broken. Like no synergy Diana, like Assassin, I guess, because you have Pike most of the time there. But like it's just insane. Like Ironclad just isn't worth the stat line when you can just instantly kill a backline. Or like, they just like make someone not able to play the game.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to play Ironclad on with the 6 Sentinels, it's a Nautilus Rel, but low key, Rel 2 even with no items, even if a Rel is upgraded, she feels kind of underwhelming now. It's so weird. Like every time I tech in a Rel, I never feel great about it, unless it's in a Jax board, which there's so much going on in the front line anyway. She'll always cast, she'll always get a ton of value off. But when I've seen Rel 2 not cast without items, and it's so different. It's so different from playing her in 6 Redeemed, because like you stack her, she's going to cast like 4 times a fight. But if you're not stacking her at all, you're not really, even if you're playing her for like 3 Redeemed, like it doesn't do enough.
I think it's the fact that like you can't get 3 Ironclad, you can only get 2. In Lucian boards. So like the 2 feels like
it's not worth it. Yeah. When you could be playing like such high value units compared to like I feel like Rel's so expensive too, and like this like you don't really need frontline CC on that board, right? Because Galio's not really dying anyways. Like he's doing his thing. Like that board really values backline disruption. And so like Thresh Diana on that board just fills in every gap you could ask for.
Also like I think a lot of times you're playing Lucian in the middle, right? And then he doesn't even get the Rel shield.
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
That's something I noticed a lot of people doing like third tech solution, and I realized like third tech solution, same side as the carry, always hits that carry. So like it's actually just straight up optimal to do that. And yeah, so it doesn't get Rel shield, but like also Diana Thresh, like its backline CC disruption, they can throw the carry into Lucian's ult. So you just get a ton of value out of that versus just random 2 Ironclad.
Although you know what is fun? If you have Akshan with Sentinels, being able to shoot the Akshan to the back line and then getting the Rel shield. So
yeah,
back line.
Yeah, that is sick.
But you don't get to do that.
You have to have auction. You have to have auction too, though. Otherwise, like yeah. Auction's so good if you 2-star him.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have good items.
Auction.
It's tough to hit.
Yeah, like I don't know. I probably carried Akshan like 1 in like 300 games, I think. Like I just never get to Akshan 2. I don't know. Like
yeah.
Also like a lot of players, even at regionals, like a lot of them got Akshan 2, right? Like Setsuko and like Milk and stuff. Like
Milk had Akshan 2 like every game in regionals.
I've seen them play. They would hold every single Akshan on their level 8 roll down and even keep it over econ. But for me, I always sell it if I don't get Akshan 2 on my initial roll down. Like I maybe I just play 1 Akshan, or if it doesn't go on my board, I just sell it, and like that's why I never get Akshan 2. But I definitely need to play it more though.
I think the issue with Akshan is once you hit Akshan 2, like it's nuts, but Akshan 1 is so bad.
Yeah.
It's so different
Yeah.
from like Kale Teemo, where like you're on a roll down.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
can play Kale pretty consistently because you just need one Kale. Like one Kale, you can top 4. But Akshan, you only hit one Akshan on a roll down, and you're playing specifically for Akshan. Like it's just fucked.
And you don't want
Yeah.
to really sell your 2-star forecast items onto Akshan 1 yet.
Yeah.
So it's just like awkward. And like if you have Last Whisper, it's like, what is he doing there? You know?
Yeah,
So it's
and
like,
it's like the items that he wants are I feel like are really hard. Like once Riven, once like the Riven 3 angle became less desirable, right? I feel like building like Runan's Deathblade, like BT became a lot less desirable. Like, you can run real Runan's BT and play the Jax game, right? But like I feel like he really needs Runan's Deathblade in BT to like really pop. Like you can play him with other items, but like Auction 1 with those items will be really good, right? But it's so hard to like get to an Auction with those items. I feel like because like your mid game is just like you roll for like Riven 2. If you roll too much, you can never find Auction. Then like you can't really like the Riven 3 isn't like necessarily top 4 anymore after the nerf. So it like the angle just became a lot less consistent. I would say like the like RFs or the Runan's like Deathblade angle. It just became a lot less consistent after Riven got nerfed.
I think there's a Riven reroll comp going. Like it's 4 Legionnaire Riven reroll. I just got shit on it yesterday. I played Kale, like fully capped Kale, and I got shit on by Riven 3.
Damn.
He had 4 Legionnaire. He had like Radiant Titans, Runon's Last Whisper, and he just like melted all my
Sounds like it
dice.
collapsed.
Yeah, I think there's a secret like Riven reroll like 4 Legionnaire comp.
I think it's
Bro.
very tempo heavy though, right? Like I feel like you need to have a lot of Rivens already.
True.
Yeah.
He had a stacked Yasuo and stacked Riven, like mid game.
Yeah. So I feel like something you can. That's good if like you have the opener for it, but it's like I feel like before you could kind of like build the right items for Riven and then like stabilize on Riven too hard, like almost like how people stabilize with Nocturne right now, and then just like play from there, right? And like you either reroll Riven if you get more Rivens, or you just play Auction. But now it's like I feel like the Riven 3, if you like go to like 1 HP, the Riven 3 is not a top. Like the Riven 3 will die and will so it makes it spot a lot harder.
Yeah. Oh, have you guys tried a new Yasuo?
Oh, he
It
feels so
kinda
good.
actually.
He feels so good. He's a smooth boy.
Not spending all of his time ulting
Yeah.
and just
I think we've
Oh my
all
goodness.
been in that spot where like like it might be like Yasuo versus like a backline, like 2 backline units, and they're doing enough DPS that he literally just goes without autoing at all in between. Like that's gone now. It feels really good. You
Wait,
just get stuff like that.
did they change that? I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah,
they
his-
increased cast time.
His animation is like smoother now. So it's faster.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Which is like a huge DPS buff. Because like
Yeah.
before, like think about if you put blue buff on Yasuo. Like I saw somebody in game, I forget whose stream I was watching, but they were playing against a blue buff Yasuo, and it actually like looks good because it's actually not like he spends half of his time ulting and then maybe get one auto or something, you know?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
the Riven reroll guy with stacked Yasuo, he had blue buff Hodge,
Mhm.
and it destroyed him.
Damn. Yeah.
I think blue buff might be good on Yasuo, and also like Guinsoo's too, because like you just like just like the cast time is smoother now. So
I
Mhm.
feel like he can also hold like obviously you don't want a Shojin on him, but he can hold Shojin a lot better if you get to like a Vel'Koz. Like stage 3, if you have like a Shojin on a Yasuo, it's fine. Stage 3,
Yeah.
stage 4, he'll be fine with it. So he's a lot more consistent. Thank God, I love that guy.
Low key archangels might be better on him too, because like if the animation's smoother, then he's casting more, so he can eventually over a fight. Maybe you can get an extra cast off, and that benefits archangels so much.
yeah,
Got a theory craft. Yeah, Yasuo is just cool though. I'm so glad he's back. I think with the thing with Yasuo like getting nerfed so much is that like there is no check to just like big tank like stat heavy front lines, right? Like 3 ironclad front line. Like I mean, yeah, a lot of Yasuo's damage I feel like on stage like before you get items on him and stuff is actually just physical, right? Like stage 4, like stage 3, and if people are running like knights and ironclad units and stuff, it's like really tough to actually get through that with Yasuo, or like without the true damage to really back it up. So I'm glad he's back.
thoughts on Ironclad, and if it should be in the next set.
I don't want it in the next set.
I'm actually low key. I'm okay with Ironclad being in the next set, just because like we have Mystic, like, and I kind of like what they did of like the Ironclad. The stats on Ironclad aren't as high on the stats on Mystic, just because like there's more physical damage in the game, because every unit autos, not every unit deals magic damage. Like I'm low key I'm low key okay with Ironclad sticking around.
I just feel like for Mystic, there's a lot more things that lower MR. I think like Static Shiv, Garen,
That's true.
Ionic Spark. But whereas in armor, it's only Last Whisper and like Akshan. Is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Not sure.
That's it.
And
Maybe
so it's like,
set.
you know,
Yeah, you play set.
If you don't have Last Whisper, you're fucked, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
But-
the reason they put honestly, I think half they put Ironclad in was just because of Felly. Like, so I think Mystic is being a whole board effect, right? Because like AP units generally hit the whole board. You know, like Ari, Asol, Vel'Koz, etc. Where like historically, I feel like AD units have been very like Warwick, Ashe, Jhin. They're single target for the most part, right? They're like single target with like maybe light chip on other units. But now that like
front to the back.
I feel like Aphelios being in the game made them think like, okay, we can now do AD casters that act kind of like an Ari, like a Soul. So they want Ironclad to kind of make up for that. I think if they keep Ironclad in without a caster like an AD caster like that being in the game, it's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be really bad. So that's my 2 cents. It's very overwhelming sometimes. To just like auto bot 4 off, not having Last Whisper, them playing, and like there being 2 Jaxes in the lobby.
Yup.
Oh yeah.
It feels so bad. It feels so bad.
Draven, no Last Whisper? Okay, well, can't kill anything.
Yeah, right?
Sometimes Jack's the last
Yeah.
whisper. That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
low
yeah,
key.
the last whisper.
The lowest of keys, like I think that's part of why Runans is so bad, because even like Jax, who is theoretically one of the best users of Runans, I don't think he even wants Runans now, because like I think Last Whisper is just way better on him. Like I think Last Whisper Titans is just so good as your second, third
I think
item.
Titans is broken.
I
Yeah,
think
Titans
Titans
is so
is
good.
I think Titans is busted.
Yeah.
It's so
And
good.
Radiant Titans is actually low key so absurd.
Yeah, it's also really good on. I mean, Dasik was saying how he thinks Titans is BIS Lucian.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
he's actually super
I was
quick.
saying that too. Like, last patch at some point, I think I had like JG Hodge, Radiant Titans, Lucian. I'm like, how? Like
That
this
sounds
thing
best
is
of
so
slot.
strong. It's actually absurdly good.
Yeah.
And even just like normal of the entire thing, like, and it's that little bit of extra tankiness that lets him lets him live a little bit longer and heal back up to full again.
So the thing about Titans is that it's good early game, it's good mid game, it's good late game.
Yeah.
It's a good way to use a bow. It's a good way to use a chain.
It's a good slam that never falls off.
It could be a frontline item and a backline item. So it's like, all right,
Yeah.
Chain
Like
start.
like Titans have like the Hodge effect coming into this set. You know, like,
Robin,
you know the one you slam Hodge and then like it got buffed and all of a sudden everyone slammed Hodge in 3.5. Or was it 3? I don't forget. Like, everyone, you know, all of a sudden had Hodge mech, like full dodge mech and stuff. Because yeah, that's what it feels like.
Robin, now you know I've been chain start for the past like set and a half.
Yeah, no, it clicked. Like I saw Bertosaurus got chain start. I was like, why is this guy going chain start? And then I thought about it, and then like, but like, do you still think chain start's good now that with Gargoyles nerfed?
I think
Like,
I think
not
it's still
good,
good.
but like the best.
I don't think it's the best. Honestly, I don't think it's ever really been the best. I think it's just always been good, and I think it's always good in like flex metas where both AD and AP is good. Like if it's a pure AD meta, then like Vest sucks, get it out. You just want to start the AD items, but in like the current meta, when the meta suits it, Vest is always going to be really good because there's just so many slammable items out of it, and I think in set 4.5 when Locket was good, like I think I looked at the list of chain items and I was like, I do not feel bad slamming any of these straight up.
The chain items are so
being
good.
able to slam Locket.
I miss being
What's
able to slam Locket. God. Well, is
Yeah.
Locket even an item now? I straight up can't tell.
Ram kept Slam Locket in one of the regionals games. One of the scrim games, I think.
Oh yeah. It would.
How'd
I
it
think it
feel?
got fifth that game.
Sometimes you have to
Sounds
Slam
about
Locket
right.
though.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to Slam Locket. Like
Yeah.
like if you're playing AD comp and you're streaking and you have a Sunfire or a Bramble already or whatever, and you need to kill the chain and rod, then you should Slam Locket for sure. Even though it fucking sucks, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not even that bad actually. I don't know. Why is it bad? It gives so much HP.
I don't know. That's true.
I think
Maybe the fights are slower. There's a. I'm not.
I don't know. I
exactly
feel like
sure
I feel like
why.
early game if you Slam Locket, you always get like most value out of it. But I don't know why.
I mean, yeah, Locket has always been like the earlier you slam it, the better. Especially if you can maximize it and go like 5 units.
Yeah.
Like that at that point is like when it's gonna be the best. I'm not too sure why people haven't been playing Locket too much. It's like
Yeah, maybe it's like actually not even that bad. And
It
Yeah,
could
it's just
be.
like a
I
meme.
could see
It's
it.
like it's like a meme.
I think
I feel
part
like
of it
it's-
was also volley. Like late game Locket fell off as is, but like in previous sets you could still get some value out of it. Like
I mean, I feel like I've never. I feel like in the end game when you have Locket, it's always just these are
That
chain
item
and rod
anyways.
stats. It's
Yeah.
like not. I
Yeah.
don't really care too
Yeah.
much about the shield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think Volibear breaking the Locket shield is like irrelevant because like by that time, Locket's not even an item anyways.
He doesn't
Yeah,
anymore.
that's true.
He doesn't anymore.
So yeah, I don't know why. Like I feel like early game it should be a lot of value.
yeah, you
And
think?
then and then the two components aren't even that bad. So I don't even know.
I
Aren't
do-
even that good. I mean, so I don't even know. Like, well, maybe it is good. Who knows?
When I think about chain rod though, I think like Sunfire Rageblade. in the early
Yeah,
game.
right.
And that
Yeah.
always feels like better than Locket. You know.
You know what it?
true.
Yeah, you know what it is. I feel like Rocket Slam. Like, think of early game boards right now. Like Rocket Slam. Like a lot of them are very slow fights, right? It's like night boards with like a Rageblade backline, or like Sentinel Skirm boards, like a Rageblade Nidalee, or like I think it's a lot of boards that like scale and are pretty tanky. So Rocket doesn't feel like it. It feels like if you don't have the punching power to get through, like you're not gonna like. I feel like
Yeah.
both.
Mhm.
Yeah, both Chain and Rod give you an item that punches you through, right? Gives you Rageblade, Sunfire. Both those are super good at punching you through a board. But like Locket uses both those components and doesn't punch you through a board.
I guess
yeah.
I guess it just feels really bad killing the chain when you can make a way better chain item.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
killing the rod feels nice, but it's like, I guess Locket is one of those items where it's like a win loss item. I guess
Mhm.
it's like middle of the pack and like, I guess it doesn't scale well into mid game.
I think
So
too.
it's
Like think of any opener, like any three, like mix of like Rod, Chain +1, and I guess the only one I can think of is like Sword, where I wouldn't slam an item besides Locket. You know,
Yeah.
like I'd
Mhm.
slam Gargoyle if I got Cloak, or like you can slam Runehands even. You get Bow, you slam Rageblade. Like Chain, you can slam Bramble if you wanted to, I guess, or you can slam Locket, I guess, with Chain.
I
But
don't know, if you have tier, you might be playing AP and that you're killing a rod.
Yeah.
with Locket.
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
get like offered Rod on like or like Bow on the first armory, then you can just slam like Frozen Heart Rageblade, which is definitely better than. Like, I feel like there's so many really strong options.
You know what I
that
also
aren't.
think it is? I think it's also the stage 2 armory existing. Like because Chain has such better. We're losing Robin for a second. Okay, Robin's back. But because stage 2 armory exists, like because like a Locket slam is fine, but in one fight you're getting offered 2 items, and like there's so many better options out of those 2 components that you just wait one round and you get an infinitely better slam. Like if I have just 2 items start and it's Locket, like I'm not slamming that. I'm just gonna wait till 2/2, see if there's a belt or a bow or something good that I can slam, and then just slam that instead. Like you only get one fight of value out of the Locket slam versus what you could have greeted.
It clicked. It's the rod chain combination. They're just infinitely more better items to make when you get the armory.
Yeah.
It'd be like using 2 good components for like mediocre item.
So if the
Which doesn't
armory
make
wasn't
sense.
here, that's why if the armory wasn't a set mechanic, then more people would slam Locket, right?
Yeah. I think for
which
sure.
which happened in previous sets. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I think also like it's just the amount of sustain right now in the early game and like the tankiness. You really don't need like Locket is
Yeah.
sort of loses its value in those types of situations. Like Dawnbringer,
true.
you have like Dawnbringers, Renewers, Sentinels.
There are
Like
no explosive fights at all.
like you
Hyper
can't have an
Dawnbringer.
explosive fight.
It's
right?
always
Like,
always a grind, except for like Ziggs,
Like-
but even then, like Spellweaver makes it a bit of a schlep. Anyways,
Because in
so-
like set 4, you would get away with like playing only backline units, for example. You know, if you have the sharpshooters in the backline, or you just have the spellweavers, right? You could just put 3 spellweavers on your board and slam a Locket, and it would be like amazing, right? Because
yeah,
you don't need tankiness, you just have burst damage, right? But nowadays it's like, well, I have Gragas, I have Kha'Zix, I have, Vlad, Soraka, all of the Sentinel units, it's a lot harder to sort of just like, just put straight damage on your board and just call it a day,
yeah.
Which is also why grading for Sunfire is just so much value. Like every fight is just so absurdly slow. Even with like them nerfing Sunfire over and over, it's always going to be an insane amount of value just because
Yeah.
of like the early game fights are slower as is, but I feel like this set they're even slower than normal.
Yeah. You need anti-heal to make damage stick, or you need ramp. Those are the only 2 ways to like streak. I feel like, or you just have the cracked opener. But most of the time, like to punch through boards like stage 2, stage 3, more so it's like stage 3. Like if you don't have some kind of ramp, some kind of anti-heal, like some kind of like finishing power on your board, like there's just no way you're gonna be able to break through all the sustain and the tank stats. So yeah. Anyways, I think we should get into some questions probably.
Mm-hmm.
We have on the mailbag because we talked about this in pre-show meeting yesterday. So, mailbag question from Spicy Appy, specifically to Robinsongz. What is your favorite sussy emote?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even know any sussy emotes. The only one I know is Sussy Gone, which is Aegon shaking his ass.
Sussy Gone is goated. Okay, yeah, we'll go with Sussy Gone then. Good
What other
pick.
sussy emotes are there?
There's Sussy Liss. So Liss is one. There's Sussy Appies. There's there's Sussy Pies.
There's normal sussy.
There is there normal Sussy?
I gotta make a sussy one then.
Yeah, it's the yellow Among Us. person shaking his
yeah.
ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There are a lot of sussies out there. I think Aegon's though is definitely like the golden standard.
Yeah.
I mean, on my Discord server, people just spam because like the Aegon one and the Solus one are actually like facing different directions.
Yeah.
So they just both there and they like throw their butts at each other.
My favorite is when someone does like a box, like a rectangle, and then mod check is in the middle, and just looking at all the different sussies surrounding the mod check. It's so good. You have like Solus's and Aegon's on the sides, like, and the ass is just pointing at the mod check. He's just looking back and forth.
Solus is like a bee or something, or what?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's his B. Yeah. I guess our a good follow-up question here. Beppo Carrot asked, does showing cock give a buff to your game? And that will be a 10-minute timeout in all of our chats, Beppo. So have fun.
I don't think so.
No, I think wearing pants is fine.
No one's
honestly.
ever tried it before.
Oh,
But...
that's true. I mean, no, Beppo's probably tried it. So
You can get banned for a
tell
while.
us.
Yeah.
That's
Beppo
why
will
he
give us the
got banned.
knowledge.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, our first question not involving cock. I do like this because it ties to Thresh earlier. So why don't you play QSS more on your corner carries? Don't you think Radiant QSS is OP to counter Thresh perfectly? And I mean, I can start like
Yeah.
the thing, cause playing a QSS on your carry, it just feels so bad. It feels like you just need triple damage to make carries work. Like if your carry only has two actual damage items, it doesn't feel like it does enough. So like using the third slot on another offensive item and playing around, like just playing random corner bait and stuff, like sacrificing unit power maybe a little to have corner bait is more worth than sacrificing the unit power of your carry by not having triple damage on it. I'll say I think the exception is Nocturne though. Like I think Radiant QS Nocturne is insane because of the attack speed buff. And same thing with Jax. Like any melee carry specifically actually is fine with QSS because like they're in everyone's face. So it's so easy for them to get CC'd that having a QSS is actually worth it because it gets a ton of value. But if you're just building a QSS to stop Thresh Hook and that's it, you don't get enough value for what you're losing in a third damage item.
Yeah, I feel like the way to look at a backline unit, I mean, I think AD units, how I look at them a little bit is like they all have 4 items. If you have a 3-item unit, it's 4 items, right? Melee units, it feels like there's always an extra bump in damage. So it's like they have an extra damage item, right? Because they're melee, they have an extra damage item. Because their spells are better, their ADs, like higher base ADs higher, they're whatever. So it feels good to put a QS on a melee unit because they are much more in the fight. They're much more. There's a lot more CC that's like frontline based. Like the defensive item on a backline unit is that they're a backline unit. Especially in a set where the only like. So here's the thing, right? Think of what CC's backline in the set right now. There's Thresh, right? There's like a Rel on an assassin, but Rel's not going to generally hit your backline, right? Besides that, there's Thresh. There's like Diana, Viego. Those are like probably the big ones that are CCing your backline, right? Diana and Viego, if they start ulting your carry's probably going to die anyway. Like, well, you have like, he doesn't block damage, right? First off. So like if you playing against Diana, a lot of time it's gonna do enough damage where like an Aphelios will finish you off or whatever. Viego does a lot of damage regardless. But even just beyond that, you're like you can position around Diana and Viego, right? So QS gets like you lose a DPS item that you need to keep up with the frontline carries. Like like a 2-item Aphelios. Like what are you gonna like? Let's say best in slot Aphelios, or let's say your build on Aphelios is like Last Whisper, Deathblade, Rage Blade, or like Last Whisper, Deathblade, BT, or Rage Blade, whatever, right? So what item are you gonna replace with QS and keep up with anyone in the lobby? I don't know. I think the fact that like Thresh is like the only unit that you can't position around that will CC a corner is like even Syndra can stop assassins, right? There's just like there's counterplay beyond a QS to everything but Thresh, but you can't itemize your 4-cost carry for a single 2-cost. Like counter a single 2-cost, I feel like. It's just like if you have QS, you'll never win any matchup. That's what it feels like.
It's just like not enough value. Like Jirachi said it correctly. Like you need with Ironclad, you need 3, or Ironclad and Knights, you need 3 damage items, or else you're not. It's not a unit.
Yep.
So, but like Radiant QSS is different because you get attack speed. So like regular QSS is almost never slammed. But if you have Radiant QSS, like you can like if it's your last item, you can put it on Draven or like Jax or Aphelios. Like it's not the worst, but like you'll never be making a regular QSS just for one single unit. That's why Trap Claw is so good, because Trap Claw is literally like a QSS on your carry, so it's like your 4th item. That's why Trap Claw is so good. It's not because the CC like prevention is bad. It's just like you can't take up that slot on your carry.
Yeah. Like, if you have to give a slot to a QS, even a Radiant QS, right? It's the only offensive sound on that is like 30% attack speed or 40% attack speed. Like, if you're giving up an offensive slot for that, you will just never keep up in fights. So, like, that's why if that's like why even make positioning like a thing in TFT if you're just gonna go, like, I don't know, if you're gonna make QS best in slot on like a unit, or like make it a set where like QS is like consistently best in slot on a unit, I don't know. It feels like positioning gets a lot less valuable, because like positioning should be making up for that. Like set 4.5 right at the end, like Sedge, Aatrox, like there were units positioned around Aatrox, for example, but like I felt like Kale, I feel like Kale needed a QS most of the time, right, to keep up with other carries. Olaf got innate CC production, but like the fact that Kale needed QS and that set means that the set was like way too CC heavy, I feel like, because like then what, like positioning on Kale literally was like, which corner do you want to be on? There was no like real depth to it. It's like, you want to be on left corner, you want to be right corner, you want to dodge the ASOL, you want to be middle maybe, but like there's no, it wasn't like full on sweat against like getting CC'd. It was like you get QS or I either get QS or I get Sejuani ulted / Aatrox ulted. So there's like, if you don't corner, you get Sedge ulted. If you do corner, you get Aatrox ulted. So I think it's having to put QS on a unit, or like QS being best in slot on a backline unit, is just like indicative of like poor set design in terms of like too much CC. So I think it's good that QS isn't great right now, but on frontline, on backline units. But I also don't think it's something that you can really afford to build right now with like, Ironclad stat checks. So
I mean, it's just like like Robin said, like if I'm playing a backline carry, why would I ever build QS when Trap Claw is in the game?
Yeah, right.
Trap Claw is just QS, but I can
Not on your carry.
Yeah, I can put items on my carry that
right.
Do what I actually want to do, which is kill units. I mean, I think the thing is like, obviously in previous sets, QS was really the only way for you to really avoid the backline CC. I mean, you could put Trap Claw on like your Jhin or something, and people did that, right? People put Trap Claw on Jhin, and people could put QS on Jhin. And he still had like the innate DPS where you could kill whatever you wanted, even if you don't, I have QS Last Whisper Jhin, no problem. I still kill everything that I want to kill, right? But like nowadays, it's like, if I don't have 3 damage items on my Aphelios, if I have oh my gosh, if I have QS Aphelios, like what am I doing? Like what is he gonna do?
It's probably because is it because of Ironclad?
Definitely partly, at least.
That's part of it. But also the thing
like on
is,
Vel'Koz you can't put it on. Like you can't QS a Vel'Koz too, right? Like you just won't have enough.
Yeah. And a lot of the backline 80 carries, like the high cost ones, also sort of do have some kind of built-in survivability already, right? Like Aphelios has Nightbringer, right? So he's not he's not gonna get one shot all the time.
Yeah.
You know, Akshan, you know, Lucian, if you're carrying them with Sentinels, right? They start off with that shield, right? Like
Yeah.
you really don't need to have like that much survivability on them anymore because they already have some kind of survivability built in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like QS is really an item that's built for frontline carries and not for backline carries. So having to build it on a backline carry is just like, yeah, you just don't want to do it.
Okay. Next question. Do you guys think that this set is lacking an Urgot Lee Sin type unit to one-shot Uber tanks? I guess the rephrase is, do we think that should be in the set, or like we actively feel like it's missing? Because also theoretically, like that unit this set is Viego, but like Viego's not one-shotting Uber tanks. Viego can only like Viego sometimes can't even one-shot carries. It's not saying like with Urgot and Lee Sin, it was this unit does not get to play the game. Like any unit, like instantly dead. With Viego, it's this unit doesn't get to play the game, but like it doesn't die unless it's a backline carry. Like we're not taking it out entirely. But
we had Trundle last set.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too.
That was basically Lee Sin.
Yeah,
But now we don't have anything, so you see like mega tanks just survive forever sometimes, and I think that sometimes is a problem. Like you see like a Leona 2 with like Radiant Gargoyle and like Warmogs, and it never dies.
Yeah,
and it's a one cost. So I don't know if that's a problem, but like I feel like Lee Sin and Urgot are like annoying. So I don't know.
Yeah, imagine Lee Sin in this set. Like your Galio 2 just is kicked off at the beginning of the fight.
I mean, Lee Sin, like you need a corner bait again. Like
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think Trundle was like such a good unit though. Like when he wasn't OP, like being able to just have a Trundle that
he was cool,
sort of do the same thing, but not completely make it feel like you know you got fucked for no reason because somebody slammed blue buff Lee Sin and you just kick your unit off of the board.
Yeah, like with Trundle out, you can put a mega tank in the solo frontline again. Whereas before you actually can't do that. You have to like play around it. I don't know how I don't know the answer to this question. Like I feel like having a mega tank that will never die is a problem and no counterplay. But I also think that Urgot and Lee Sin are kind of annoying units to deal with.
Yeah, no, it's hard, and it's even with Urgot Lee Sin and even Viego now, you're always going to have the frustration of like, and sometimes it is because you messed up, and like I had games in set 4 where I had a unit on front row all the way over on the left hex, and I see a Lee Sin in front of it, and I'm just like, I fucked up.
Bye.
In all fairness, is on me, but like watching a Lee Sin, like that level of frustration, even if you think it's good for the game, it's not healthy for like the players because we shouldn't feel that frustrated playing this game. Like at the end of the day, we're trying to just to some degree, we're playing to like have fun.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing with like Shadow Blue Rise, Blue like LeBlanc, right? Like why make it feel like your players just like not even outskilled, right? It just feels like there's just this dumb mechanic in there that got through that suddenly forces like all of my units to not be able to play the game just because of this one interaction, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need to like if you don't think it's fun, like why is it in the game? Because it's balanced? That doesn't make it like that. Like you're trying to get people to have fun playing this game. Like even if it's balanced, that doesn't mean it's fun, right? Like
that type of stuff is not fun for the player and the person across. Like, even when I see a Shadow Blue Buff Rise like perma stun, I just feel like
dead inside.
Like this is so dumb.
And even if you're like some kind of masochist who sees Shadow Blue Buff Rise and they're like, aha, yes, I love it. Like that type of fun shouldn't come at the expense of 7 other people in the lobby who see that and they're just gonna get instantly frustrated. Like there's ways to get fun into the game that isn't like I'm having my fun completely at the expense of everyone else.
Yeah, like the feeling of losing a close round after watching like, you're my Draven and your Aphelios really duped it out of our boards where we're going head to head. And compared to watching like a blue buff Rise, you get to half HP and stun your entire board.
And just 1v5 the entire board and you're like, what the hell?
You just sit there like, what the fuck am I watching right now? Like the satisfaction, there'd be
Oh,
satisfaction
God.
on both sides, you know, without being massive amounts of tilt. I feel like so. Yeah. Opium.
Opium.
I guess we probably have time for one last question. It can be a quick one. We will do last one. If Darius stayed in set 5.5, would it be different? I guess it's like Darius
Yeah.
compared to Uction. I think it'd be about the same. Like
think it'd be
I didn't
that
think they're.
different.
Yeah.
Knights would be better probably. 'cause
Nightbreed
they
would
got
be better
in
as
our
well.
Darius is a
already,
thing.
and,
Yeah.
like,
I feel like I don't know if this was just me. It just never felt like Darius had insane impact on set 5, which is part of the
Yeah.
reason they did remove it.
Yeah,
him, I
it's
think.
kind of like a failure. Like it wasn't like a cool legendary. It could pop off sometimes when you itemize it
The
correctly.
Archangel
It's just a
Warmogs
weird.
build.
It's just a weird champ because like it auto attacks and it's like
Yeah.
it's based off auto attacking. It's weird.
way less
Really
flashy than Garen, who just like brings his sword down, like boom.
It blows up
I
the
love
board.
it.
Like
Yeah.
I looked at the numbers with a couple other people, and we realized like Darius has less healing than Garen, and it's gated by, or has less shield. Well, in effective HP, Garen's a
Yeah.
shield, and
Hits less
Darius is
people, too.
healing. But it's Darius is less and is gated by he has to auto attack each to like 3 times to get the full shield. Garen, it's just boom slam instant giant shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he
Yeah.
wasn't a unit without Warmogs as well. Where like I feel like Garen, like you can play without Warmogs, like it doesn't feel as good, but you know, it's like it was there. But like Darius without Warmogs just felt like he died instantly. Like Darius won at least. Like
I
there's
feel
just,
like-
they need to make the legendaries just like more flashy. I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Like-
Samira and like just
Mhm.
like make it look really cool and
Mhm.
do some cool things.
Yeah, not
like
like-
Darius and Garen could have been way cooler than what they are, right?
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
it's just they ult. Like they have those. Like, does anybody even remember what the other traits they had were? Like, what does Victorious do? I can't even tell you off of that.
I didn't even know that Garen had the other trait.
the God King thing.
Yeah, the
Trait where
God
he
King.
autos and
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
the HP off. I didn't even know he had that until recently.
the
Yeah, like if that's their trait, like, come on now.
like you can't. I want
I
to
mean,
see
they've had-
Kane spinning on the
they went
back
for
line,
it.
you know?
Like they never had a trait where it's like, oh, it'll be good against these traits, and this trait will be really good against these traits. I guess they just like experimented it and they tried it out. But I guess it wasn't a success because like you can't really tell if it's doing more damage on the
Mhm.
board.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess like visually it didn't really like click with the players.
Yeah, like we couldn't tell, even if it was it having an impact on fights. I literally could not tell.
Not
Maybe,
really.
but I can tell you, right?
The
Like,
God.
how are you supposed to say whether the God King
You know,
buff made a difference in winning the fight or not? Like,
you know what was super tilting was when someone in chat would be like play Poppy over Garen so you get God King. You can't have them both in at the same time. And you're like, bro, it's a fucking Poppy one and a Garen like huh? I guess that was the most tilting shit from that set when someone would be like, no, you can't play them both at the same time. You lose God King, Strimmer. You lose God King.
No, they're like
Oh,
read God King, read
Yeah.
God King, read God King.
Like what the fuck? Yeah. Like no shot, man. No shot. Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway,
Well, I think that we ended up talking about a lot of stuff that we didn't plan to, but it was fun. I think we are coming up on like the 2-hour mark now, so we might want to. I guess we can start wrapping it up. So, anyone have any last minute pressing things they want to talk about?
Robin, any shout outs you want to do?
Shout out to you guys for having me. I think this podcast is actually pretty cool. It's cool. It's on Spotify too, so people can listen to it. Just like in their bed on their phone or something. And yeah, or like who are you guys planning on bringing on as future guests, or is that like a secret?
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas. I
We
don't know if we
wanna-
want to. We can't spill the
confirm-
beans.
I did confirm with next week's guest if we want to leak.
Yeah, fuck it, we can leak. I'm down.
Sure.
Yeah, every week.
We're getting Euban on next week, actually.
Monkey Dog?
Monkey Dog.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, is he a Korean player, an NA player, or what?
He's he lived in Canada for a while. I think is Korean and is currently living in Canada.
Okay, so he's like NA.
I don't know.
Yeah, like a
He's
bunch of
somewhere
stuff.
in the middle. He
Yeah.
could probably claim either.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of cool guests on, and we've already had 2 cool guests on, but we'll keep up the trend. So thank you so much for coming on, Robin. Seriously, it
Yeah,
was
no problem.
very, very cool of you
Alright,
to
awesome.
to grace us with your 111 lag 111 or presence. I think that'll about wrap it up for us though. Again, shout out to Robin, shout out to everyone who watched. Shout out to co-hosts Drachi, Ramkev, and I. I don't want to shout out myself, but you know. And-
Shout out to Spicy
No,
Appies,
yeah, shout out Spicy
our amazing
Appy.
third host.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great week, and we'll come back next week. And again, thank you so much, Robin, and until then, peace.